Good evening and welcome to Northbeat. I'm Lainey Lambrink. We begin tonight in the Northwest Territories. Our CMP have laid charges after a vehicle crashed through the front doors of the Explorer Hotel in Yellowknife on Christmas Eve. Police announced this afternoon they charged a Yellowknife woman with impaired driving. Devin Trednick has this update.
RCMP were called to the scene on the evening of Christmas Eve after the woman's car struck through the lobby doors and left behind a swath of debris. Police say the car struck 4 people and came to a stop at an elevator, briefly trapping people inside, but police say no one reported serious injuries. The driver, who was alone, appeared impaired and failed a breath test. She was taken into custody, where police say further breath samples came in at 3 times over the legal limit. 60-year-old Natalia Sarokina of Yellowknife faces several charges. They include impaired operation of a motor vehicle, dangerous driving, and mischief over $5,000. RCMP say their investigation continues. Devin Trednick, CBC News, Yellowknife.
The Explorer Hotel is owned and operated by Nunavut Properties. The company's chief operating officer says he heard about the crash after someone sent him a photo of the car in the hotel's lobby. He says he's grateful the building took the brunt of the damage.
Yeah, well, it was certainly shocking at the start there. Thankfully, because our staff were right on site, if there's a major medical thing, we would have found out pretty quick. So it was kind of a no news is good news situation at first. So as long as the building's okay, we can fix the building. But as long as the guests and the people and the staff are okay, then that was the important part. So.
In Nunavut, a store in Iqaluit has been robbed twice over the past week, causing thousands of dollars in losses. The most recent theft was Sunday. Hunter's Market was forced to board up its windows after thieves broke them to get into the space. A store representative says the inside of the store was also vandalized. Cigarettes, an iPad, beef jerky, and more than $300 in cash were taken. The market says the break-ins are frustrating and repairs and losses will cost between $4,000 to $5,000. There were no injuries. The store says RCMP are investigating. Meanwhile, Rankin Inlet's Kavalik Arctic Foods is telling customers not to place orders on Facebook. The store's general manager says he doesn't use the social media platform, but scammers are using it to dupe people. He says scammers posted pictures of country food along with the store's branding. The general manager started getting phone calls from people looking for products that were out of stock. That's how he found out Kavalik Arctic Foods was being misrepresented.
A person just phoned me and asked me if we had caribou for sale. And I said, we have no caribou. We don't have caribou for about a month and a half and muskox for almost 3 months now. And the lady said, well, it's online. I said, no, I have nothing online. I don't use social media. I've been general manager for 7 years and I've never used social media for sales. I just use one email and a phone number.
Sadler says RCMP are now looking into the situation. He's encouraging people to call their banks to see if they can get their money back. A Suparna Airlines flight headed to Anchorage, Alaska was diverted to the Whitehorse Airport this weekend. The red and yellow tail of the 747 could be seen on the tarmac this morning. It made an unplanned landing in the Yukon capital on Sunday. It was scheduled to refuel in Anchorage before continuing to Chicago. The cargo plane originated from China, where Suparna is based. The Whitehorse Airport says the plane was likely diverted due to weather, and the plane took off to Chicago this evening. Young people from Yukon's Little Salmon Carmacks First Nation will soon have a space to call their own. A new youth center is in the works. As Tori Fitzpatrick tells us, those who will use the space most are helping make the vision a reality.
The new building has been years in the making, and it was designed by youth in the community.
They wanted a space to learn how to cook. They wanted a space to do art, and more than just painting, like woodworking, metalworking, a space for a counselor, a classroom for learning, a movie theater, a flexi hall for gatherings.
Dixon says it was important for youth to have a say. She has been involved in the project since it began, and it's something that she holds close to her heart.
Honestly, I feel a lot of honor from having such a hand in it. I feel like I played a big part in making this happen. Um, and it's important that youth know that people care, and it's important that what they think we know. I mean, they're going to be running our government soon, and it's important that they know that they're safe and they're cared for, and this is the space for them to have that.
For the first time, youth in the community will have a safe space of their own.
Well, they need their own space to figure out who they are and come into their own with their peers, you know. Having that place, they're gonna become who they are in that place.
And once it's complete, the center will provide support to young people for generations to come.
Having a building like this just for yourself, that's gonna be awesome. Like our youth now are gonna be able to use it next summer. My little cousins, my nephew, they're gonna be able to use it when they're a youth. Like it's gonna be here forever. It's gonna be amazing.
The youth center is expected to open in the summer of 2026. Tori Fitzpatrick, CBC News, CarMax.
The Yukon saw big changes in politics in 2025. Whitehorse Mayor Kirk Cameron completed his first year at the city's helm. Meanwhile, Premier Curry Dixon with the Yukon Party ended 10 years of Liberal leadership in the territory this past November. They reflected today on their time in leadership so far and what they're hoping to accomplish going into 2026.
So it's been a very aggressive, good first year for this council in office. We just passed our capital budget, just south of $100 million, which is unheard of in my time in government. That's a lot of money. And we got a lot of work to do to make sure we have the funding we need to support that capital expenditure plan. So that's going to be a big theme coming into 2026.
Throughout this summer in particular, I want to restart the Premier's budget tour, where we go to Yukon communities and seek their feedback in a formal way to help inform our decision making going into the fall sitting. That was something that was done when I started working for Premier Fenty back in the day. That was something that he had done, and I thought it was very successful. I thought it was a good idea. People had a chance to engage directly with the Premier and cabinet ministers, depending on who was where, and provide feedback.
Both leaders say they've heard from many Yukoners during their time in leadership so far. There's a new tool on the market for communities to detect polar bears using artificial intelligence. It's called the BearDar. Samuel Watt has the story.
Nobody really wants to come face to face with polar bears. Inuit for millennia have used highly developed observational skills and generational knowledge to detect these animals. But Polar Bear International thought, what if there's a way to supplement that with technology to protect everybody?
That led us to some security systems that were originally developed for the military, and to see if that might have a wildlife application.
Enter the BearDar. It's designed to survey the landscape and detect anything that moves. In August, the AI-powered radar was installed at Eureka's weather station. Environment and Climate Change Canada is using it as a potential tool to alert staff to the presence of bears and other wildlife like wolves.
You can have it send you a text message, you can have it send you an email, you can have it trigger a flashing light.
And now communities in Svalbard are looking to test it out this winter. Hilda Follenstrom, a citizen scientist, has lived there for more than 3 decades. Over that time, she's seen more polar bears venturing closer to civilization.
I've seen lack of sea ice is one thing, and crazy starvation periods for polar bears.
But this technology ain't cheap. Just the base model costs around $60,000. And if you're thinking of protecting an entire community with that, well, that could get expensive.
At the end of the day, we're not in the radar business. We just wanted to see, what this could do, and we'll turn it back over to private partners to take it from there.
And he says it's up to communities to decide whether it's for them. Samuel Watt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
A surprise for a group of researchers on Fogo Island in Newfoundland and Labrador. They saw a caribou with a unique feature during a recent expedition that's left at least one biologist speechless. The CBC's Leila Baudon reports.
She was hiding in a wooded area like this when 29-year-old Irregular Love, who grew up in Ontario, made a groundbreaking discovery about caribou in Newfoundland.
I felt that it was the best field day I've ever had. And I remember skipping out of the field being like, we've made this huge discovery. I'm so excited, calling my friends immediately afterwards. So definitely for excitement, it is at the peak for my career.
Love says she couldn't believe her eyes. A part of a research team from Guelph University who has been tracking caribou on Fogo Island for about a decade, something about this female deer was very different.
So I was like very confused, and I turned to my more senior friend, Jack, and was like, hey, they're growing antlers. And Jack was like, I really want to believe you, but I've never seen that before. So we need to go and find some evidence.
Female caribou have antlers. That's not what was strange, but what was wild about what Love saw was the size of this female's antlers, which she says could be a sign of a disruption in the deer's natural cycle.
So when you have the environment rapidly changing and that impacting their physiology, that always is something that's a little concerning because you don't know how that population is going to react.
Her discovery through the trees was a small fuzzy set of new antlers, something that doesn't normally happen until after the female gives birth, later in the season.
So the caribou were growing their antlers a couple months earlier than they would have.
Not something we have seen before in Newfoundland, and although it has been observed in other populations, it's usually only like 1 or 2 individuals and not an entire population all at once.
Like those seen here in Grey Islands, female caribou use their antlers to dig down in the snow to bury food and ward off other animals trying to steal their snacks, all the while caring for what's growing inside her baby.
Having those antlers gives them a little bit of an extra edge.
The team of researchers connected the female caribou's irregular cycle to warmer, shorter winters, disrupting their natural rhythm.
They're essentially growing new bone at the same time that they're lactating. So this is like a hugely costly thing for them to do.
Love and her team wait. Upon returning to Fogo, they will monitor for new life. Fewer babies would indicate that climate change is affecting not only the female's biological clock, but also the herd's future. Leila Baudouin, CBC News, St. John's.
Ready, Rudolph?
Ready, Santa.
Enjoy this festive season.
Coming? Where? Why, to the North Pole, of course.
Enjoy the magic.
Happy birthday.
Hilarity.
I triple dog dare you.
We're all in for a very big treat.
Enjoy the excitement.
Tremendous, gargantuan, spectacular.
And wonder.
From the moment I met you, it's been an adventure.
Enjoy the holidays. Watch free on CBC Gem.
If there's one thing I know about Canadians, it's that we're kind. We want to help.
It doesn't take a big star.
Or millions of dollars.
All it takes is one can.
$1.
Or even 1 hour of your time.
In every corner of this country, people give.
To their friends, to their families, to total strangers.
And this season, we will give again.
Starting December 5th, help us make the season kind.
Find ways to give to food banks in your community at cbc.ca/kind.
Choose clicks. Choose the algorithm. Choose doom scrolling at 3 a.m. Choose headlines that scream. Choose fake friends, deepfakes, and comment wars that never end. Choose the chaos. Choose the noise. Or don't. Choose news that's checked, verified, accountable. Choose being there where the stories are. Choose proof over panic. Sense over madness. Choose news, not noise.
Where does bravery live? It lives inside Cynthia Appia, who refuses to let the high cost of sports slow her down.
Welcome to the assembly.
Hell yeah, let's go.
What made you want to be interviewed by 40 neurodivergent interviewers?
Whoa. This is the most authentic conversation.
Oh, you make me cry.
Iconic, beloved, unique, the Holy Grail. Those are just a few ways collectors describe the Northwest Territories' polar bear-shaped license plate. The CBC's Sarah Krymolowski takes us for a drive through the plate's story, past and present.
You know, like this one right here.
Sam Bova shows off his collection of specialty Northwest Territories license plates. The 67-year-old lives in a suburb of Buffalo, New York, and the closest he's been to the Northwest Territories is Montreal. But he's been collecting NWT license plates for over 25 years, and he now has a collection of about 1,300 of them.
Started out with the uniqueness of the polar bear shape. Really can't give you a better reason than that. They're kind of neat. You know, I like them.
He's not alone. Ethan Kraft has built a career talking about license plates on social media. He says the NWT plates are some of the most desirable on the planet.
I mean, you think of license plates all over the world. They differ, but at their core, they're all squares, rectangles. There's really no other plate on Earth, with a couple of very limited exceptions, that are anything unique like the polar bears in the Northwest Territories.
The license plate has a history going back more than 50 years before the creation of Nunavut. It came out in 1970 in honor of the NWT centennial. It was the brainchild of the Territories Commissioner at the time, Stuart Hodgson, and it built off the success of the NWT government's polar bear logo, designed a couple of years earlier. Former NWT government employee Jake Otis worked closely with Hodgson at the time. He says it was one of many ways Hodgson tried to bring attention to the North.
He wanted to bring attention to the Northwest Territories, and one way of doing that was through this polar bear symbol and the polar bear in the license plate.
When Nunavut became a territory in 1999, people on both sides of the border felt possessive of the plates. It was a hot topic that made the news. CBC's Paul Irnaut was covering the story. At the time, Nunavut Transportation Minister Jack Anawak was adamant the plate belonged to Nunavut.
For us, there's no question. It's ours.
Anawak says, as far as he's concerned, the decision is final. He thinks the West should design a new plate, but says he's willing to share. The decision caught the West by surprise, and officials say they're not changing either.
There wasn't a discussion about using anything else at all. We want our license plate. We want our polar bear.
NWT and Nunavut shared the plate for over a decade. In 2012, Nunavut switched to a rectangular plate with a picture of a polar bear. But earlier this year, the territory went back to the bear shape with a new, unique design. The Nunavut polar bear plate faces left and features the territory's colors. But no matter what changes, the appeal of the North's unique polar bear plates remains. Sarah Krymolowski, CBC News.
A new program offering alternative learning opened this fall in Yellowknife. It offers a smaller, flexible option for neurodivergent children who struggle in larger classroom settings. Carla Ulrich tells us more.
The program is called Chickadee Nest and runs during school hours. They focus on emotional regulation, confidence, and helping children understand their emotions. The program is meant to work alongside public schools rather than replace them.
When my oldest human started school, I very quickly realized that the public school system it's not really a super good fit for all little people, and I just wished that there was, like, after a few years of him trying to go to school, I wish that there was a program that there was less kids, less pressure, more free time, more outside time, that just felt a little bit better for different kinds of brains and different kind of kiddos.
The program began this fall with its first cohort starting in October. Mornings are indoors in a calm, structured space with child-led activities. The afternoons are spent outdoors with nature and community time.
With the school system saying that they were taking out a lot of the education assistants out of the school this year, I had some pretty big concerns as to whether or not my kids would be successful.
The program is still small and does not offer academics yet. Krakowski says they hope the program will continue to grow as funding allows. That includes parent coaching to help families better support neurodivergent children. Carla Ulrich, CBC News, Fort Smith.
2025 was a year of big moments in artificial intelligence. It was defined by intensifying competition between companies and countries to dominate the field. Chris Reyes looks at the headlines and the warnings for the year ahead.
2025's first big AI headline came as a surprise.
I think the biggest shock in AI in 2025 would have been DeepSeek.
China's release of its own AI app would define the rest of the year, with fiery competition and rapid advancement in the field. Sinead Bovell watches the space closely as a futurist and strategist.
As soon as DeepSeek came on the scene and wiped out $1 trillion off the U.S. stock market, it really woke up the West.
And from there came bigger and bigger moments, billions of dollars in new investments, flashier features, massive user numbers. But with that, graver warnings.
Artificial intelligence without human oversight would leave the world blind.
We're thinking about the misuse. We're thinking about losing control of the model.
My main mission now is to warn people how dangerous AI could be.
Some of the fears, massive job losses, security risks, and harms to young people. Those concerns have prompted a global call, urging governments to do this.
Establish clear international boundaries to prevent universally unacceptable risks for AI.
Nobel Peace Prize winner and journalist Maria Reza, who signed the document, has been a leading voice in holding tech companies accountable for their impact on society.
That rule of law needs to extend to the latest technology that has the ability to take our biotech and combine it with our infotech.
This summit in New York is just one example of how much AI has dominated conversations across all industries. This is a huge gathering of business leaders, and we asked attendees a very simple question. What are your hopes and fears for AI in 2026?
Finding the disease, early detections and all that. I'm excited about the conversations that we're having.
There are certain things that that AI replaces humans with, so I have that fear.
Bovell has her own fear.
It's not that we make the wrong move, it's that we all become so overwhelmed about the moment we're in, we do nothing at all.
Instead, she's hoping more players will engage and consider this.
The next big advances in the technology might not come from the players we're used to it coming from, might not come from the places we're used to it coming from, so it could be open season on where this technology goes.
Only intensifying an already heated race. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
A young Inuk author is hoping to help Labrador youth see themselves in the books they read. Now, she's on a CBC Books list that narrows down the best 25 children's books from hundreds published every year. CBC's Heidi Adder has more.
Kayla Williams grew up drawing and writing. As a young Inuk in Labrador, Williams says she didn't have many books with people that look like her. Then she had her own children, and the idea started for Labrador Skies, a rhyming picture book.
I originally wrote the poem, I guess kind of like a lullaby for my son, because he was only a year old when I first wrote it.
Williams says it's about her love for home, as it's easy to take the simple things you see every day for granted. The response to the book and making CBC Books list with her debut picture book has been incredible. Williams says sometimes it doesn't feel real. Now she's hoping to inspire the next generation to share their stories through painting and illustration workshops for youth.
You guys have great stories, and you can do things like this. And so hopefully we have some new young authors and illustrators coming up in the near future.
To see the full list of the 25 best children's books of 2025, head to cbc.ca/books. Heidi Adder, CBC News, Happy Valley, Goose Bay.
Before we take a look at weather across the three territories, let's see what's happening in other parts of Canada. Just days after an extreme cold snap gripped the prairies, a nasty storm has hit parts of Ontario and Quebec. Freezing rain, blowing snow, and strong winds have promoted weather alerts for much of eastern Canada. As many as 25 centimeters of snow could fall in parts of Quebec. Thousands of people are without power in that province and in neighboring Ontario. Flights have been disrupted. Freezing rain is in the forecast for the Ottawa area. Wind gusts as strong as 90 kilometers an hour are expected in the Toronto area. In southwestern Ontario, blizzard conditions and dangerous snow squalls are expected into Tuesday. And in the northern part of that province, stretches of highway were closed Monday as the storm battered the region. The weather system is heading to Atlantic Canada. Weather warnings have been issued in all 4 Atlantic provinces, including parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. That is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, head to cbc.ca/north. Thanks for watching. I'm Leanie Lambrink. Have a good night.